just like I was spellbound, all the odds were against me.
Hey guys, it's your girl Cheyenne from Plant My Happy Space. Welcome back to the channel. If you're not already, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I want to see more of you. Hopefully you want to see some more of me. Today, we are going to roll straight into a review of the Wiekurt, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's a German word and I'm just not educated enough to know how to pronounce it correctly. But the name will be listed somewhere on the screen. But bottom line is, I'm going to be testing a new humidifier. I've actually already been testing it for a little bit over 2 months now. Full disclosure, they did send me this humidifier for free. But I told them if I did a video, it was going to be 100% my opinion, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And they were okay with that. So that is what I'm going to give you guys today. Now, I'm going to give you guys all the specs, my experience, and my thoughts and my opinions on if I think it's worth it and anything like that. I will be looking at my phone for the first part, for the specs, because I want to make sure everything I'm giving you guys is accurate. So, I tried the Wiekurt, however we want to pronounce it, AMH 904 Ultrasonic Air Humidifier. And they sell this for $75.99. This seems to be the only humidifier this company sells, but they do sell it in a white version and a black version. I asked for the white version because it's more aesthetically pleasing to me, but they do have both versions for those of you that don't like white humidifiers. This company also sells like air purifiers, I think, but this is their only humidifier that they sell. They just happen to have it in 2 colors. These are its claims to fame. This is what it says it has. A sleek and modern design. I'm gonna say that is pretty accurate. I think it is very sleek, very aesthetically pleasing. It is very inconspicuous. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, inconspicuous, because it is a very thin humidifier. I can show you some shots here of me comparing it to the size of my iPhone 8. And it's not a very deep humidifier at all. I could have very easily hidden this away if I wanted to, but it's a pretty one, so I kept it in sight. It also says it has a UV sterilizer bulb, which isn't anything super fancy. A lot of humidifiers have that. If your humidifier has a blue light in the tank, that's usually what it is a UV sterilizer bulb. It's supposed to help get rid of the bacteria that can build up in there to make it, you know, more sterile and sanitary. Now, me personally, I've never cared about that. If you get sick very easily, you know, you have a lower immune system, or maybe you have a baby in the house, you might care about this a lot more than I do. But to me, it's just kind of a nice to have. For my humidifier that they sent me, the UV bulb went out around 2 weeks. It doesn't work anymore. But they do have a 30-day back guarantee. So if I had purchased it, they would have sent me a full replacement anyways. But I didn't want to send it back. I wanted to do the full 60-day experience and see all the pros and cons of how this went down. It has a convenient remote control. It does have a remote control. I don't use it. I lost it. I don't even have a video to show you guys of it because I lost it. I've just never used the remotes for any of my humidifiers. But I mean, if you use it, this one has one. One thing you guys might care more about is that it's Wi-Fi compatible with your Amazon Alexa and the Smart Life app. I did not personally set this up because I just didn't need it. I just set mine to a humidity level so that it just goes when it knows to go. But if you're the kind of person that likes to have your humidifier on a timer, it would be nice to have it set up with your Amazon account, but personally for me it just wasn't necessary, but it is nice to know that it has that capability. It claims to have a whisper quiet operation. I would say that's pretty accurate actually. I don't ever hear it, so I would say that's accurate. It has a 1 to 8 hour timer. And I've never used the timer. I usually set a humidity level, but again, if you're the kind of person that uses a timer, that is nice to have. It is BPA free, if you're the kind of person that worries about that kind of stuff. It automatically shuts off when the water level is low. That is accurate as well. A little red, like water drop, will start popping up and blinking at you when it needs to be refilled. And it claims to be easy to clean, which I also think is accurate. It is a top fill, which I know a lot of us on this channel have been looking for. It is a top fill humidifier, and it is very easy to clean. It's just one tank. Now that tank has a 5-liter capacity. So it's also a large capacity tank. So it's now knocking off 2 of the boxes that most of us care about. Large capacity and top fill, right? Right? Have our dreams and answers and prayers and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying. But is this everything we've been hoping for? So it has its pros and cons, and there's a couple of things that I'm going to point out that you might not care about, so this might be the perfect thing for you. First things first is it is a top fill, like I said, and it is lovely. I do love that so much. I want to convert all of my humidifiers to being top fill. All of the ones that I currently have that are not top fill, I want to replace. Humidifiers are just not the cheapest, so I'm kind of doing it little by little. Eventually I will have only top fill humidifiers in this house because it's easy to clean and it's easy to refill. But one thing it doesn't have, which kind of surprised me, is there's no handle. There's no way to like lift it up. You just have to grab the tank, which I mean, isn't like, it's kind of like, I get it, it's like first world problems, like you don't need a handle. But me personally, I get more into the weeds of the fact that A, it's just easier for anybody to grab it with a handle. But also, I have carpal tunnel in my wrist. And this is a 5-liter tank, right? So having to hold it straight up and down without a handle when it's full and carrying it throughout my house is not the easiest thing, and it's just a little inconvenient. It's something that I don't like doing. You know, refilling our humidifiers are already such a chore that why would we want to make it harder on ourselves than we have to? Another thing I don't like is the fact that it is a top fill, but they put a little bar on the inside. And I don't know if that was meant to be a handle, but it can't be held that way. So they just put this bar on the inside, which is like, it's just strange to me. Your hand can still fit all the way in, but they just like cut off the opening for no reason. And that kind of confuses me a little bit. I don't really understand the design of that, but that's just, it's there. If it wants to bug you guys in any way, because it's been irking at me a little bit. And if you guys are the kind of person that likes to actually put essential oils in your humidifiers, it does have one of those trays at the bottom that you can put essential oil drops into. It's always nice to have. I don't personally use that. When I do use essential oils, I have like essential oil diffusers that I use in more small condensed areas. I don't typically try to do whole house situations with my essential oils, but if you are that kind of person that likes to have it going throughout the entire house or a large room, then that would be nice to have. Okay, now I'm going to break down the nitty gritty. So for setting humidity, like I mentioned before, you can set humidity and it can be set from anywhere between 40 to 80% in 5% increments. So 40, 45, 50, so on and so forth. I usually have mine set to 60 because most of my plants enjoy a 55 to 65% range. So I think keeping it at about 60 is good. Now, personally for me, I don't actually like that kind of humidity setting. I prefer humidifiers that do let me choose a specific setting, but also let me pick an automatic range. That is what I prefer. I like the ones where I can hit auto and it'll keep it between 55 and 65. So it'll bring it all the way up to 65 and then let it dwindle down to 55 until it brings it back up. One, I think that's more natural for plants in general, but two, that also means you don't fill up the tank as often because it's not working as hard to keep an exact consistent level. Now, do I still use this? Yes. Will I still keep it? Yes. I do have a lot of humidifiers that don't have that specific range where I can set it to. Most of them don't. A lot of them, you have to pick a specific humidity level, which is why I have it at 60. Now, that's just a preference for me. It's not a deal breaker. Like I said, a lot of my humidifiers only set a specific humidity level, and I have survived thus far. It's not an issue. I like it. It's better than not being able to set a specific humidity level, but if I had to redesign this myself, that would have been what's perfect for me. Now, you guys might not care about that. You guys might not even want that feature. I'm just letting you know that that's what it does. Specific humidity level, not a range. You can also set 3 different mist intensities, like 3 different levels. I usually keep mine on the second one in the middle. No specific reason, it just seems like a happy middle spot for me, but whatever floats your boat. Like I said before, it does have a timer, so if that's something you guys really, really want, it is there. Again, I don't use that feature. Almost all of my humidifiers are set on the same feature where it just maintains a humidity level. All right, so now we've talked about the specs, right? And which ones I think are awesome and which ones I think can be improved upon. Now I want to get into a couple of the extras, things that aren't mentioned on their website, but I think is nice to keep into account. 1, the tank itself, because it doesn't have a handle, you have to grab it to pick it up, right? We mentioned this before. If there's still water in the tank, there's like some kind of like suction, it won't let you pick up the tank. It won't let you take it off. Now, I see this as a positive because I'm not going to refill the tank until it's empty, right? And now if my dogs or my husband knock into it, it's not going to spill anywhere, you know? I like it. It's kind of like an auto lock. It automatically unlocks when you can fill it up. It took some getting used to because I try to be the kind of person that, like, if I'm leaving for the day and I can tell by looking at the tank that the humidifier is going to run out at some point today, I try to refill it. You can't do that now. All right, so now I've gone over all the specs and a couple extra things that I wanted to point out. Let me just flat out tell you my thoughts, opinions, and how I feel and if I think it's worth it. I think it is a very aesthetically pleasing humidifier. It is a gorgeous humidifier. I actually think it's the prettiest humidifier I have. I don't know why. I just think it's so pretty. I love the white humidifiers. This one's white with the silver front, and it's a very low-key one that can fit very flat against the wall. And I just, looks-wise, it's like perfect, right? Perfect. You know, it's top fill, like a lot of us on this channel have been searching for. So, you know, maybe think about this one if you guys are looking for a new humidifier. It's got a lot of the settings that people are looking for. It does not have a warm mist setting. If you guys are looking for that, this one does not have that capability. I mentioned this in my last humidifier video. I don't use a warm mist humidifier or the warm mist function on any of my humidifiers that do have that capability. But I know some people, especially those that are in cooler climates, really, really like having the warmer humidity. So this one does not have that if you are searching for it. It not having a handle and being a little difficult to take out is kind of, it kind of rubs me the wrong way every once in a while. But because it's such a large capacity tank, it really doesn't affect me on a regular basis. I think I refill it maybe once every 4 or 5 days. Personally, I do like this humidifier. It is $75.99, so do take that into account. It's not a cheap investment. So what I would say is if this isn't the perfect humidifier for you, it's not worth it. However, if this is just checking all the boxes for you, I think it's worth it. I think any humidifier under $100, if it meets all of your requirements, is worth it. And I know $100 is expensive. This one is not $100. Like I said, it's $75.99. But in my opinion, any humidifier under $100 if it checks all your boxes, you know, has all the specifications you want, it's made of good quality from a good company with, you know, a good warranty and everything like that, then get it. I'm not saying spend $100 on this POS humidifier or anything like that. I'm saying spend $100 on one that you think is worth it. And in my opinion, this one is a good humidifier. Don't get me wrong. I think it is a very good humidifier actually. And like I said before, it is a beautiful humidifier if you really care about aesthetics. But just keep in mind everything that I said. And if it doesn't check your boxes, then maybe check out my next video because I will be reviewing another humidifier soon. Repetitive. But hopefully this video was helpful to you guys. I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out.
No, no, I'm about to explode.